Hello everyone, it's Kenny here, and I thought I would just quickly go over what kind of skills I have when I do loud builds for my gameplays, because I get a lot of questions sometimes on my videos saying, oh, what build do you use? I usually only use one build, very sort of like stuck in my ways, but you know, so I figured I'd just go over what I have when I play. So, I run a Masterforcer build in a suit, and I run the LOCO, and I usually run the light crossbow, but I'll look at the skills. So, I'll just go over this briefly. So, in Mastermind, you sort of, let me do this. Mastermind, you unlock it, and then you get Endurance Ace because stamina, because you want to be doing a lot of running. Leadership aced because weapon stability is always nice, and it's sort of just working your way up. And then we're going to get Dominator aced because your teammates are incompetent and you will probably need a hostage some point during the assault. So basically the aim is just to get to here, and then we'll just unlock the last ones because those are the ones I want. So basically we need to spend 5 points, and what I usually do is I get Spot a Basic so that you get the 15% damage on specials, which doesn't really matter at the moment because fuck the game. So now trying to spend 4 more points. So you can sort of do whatever you want. I don't use pistols, so I don't go for Equilibrium. But if you do, you can always do that. What I do is go for Control Freak aced, because it unlocks the special the inside help and like armor transport and shit like that. You don't want to be fucking having to do the whole day and then you get an escape. So that's why that's sort of there. And then that makes you get up to the next tier. So you just want Medibags aced, Kilmer aced, because you're going to be using an assault rifle or sniper rifle, or in my case I use the crossbow. It's mainly for that run and reload, very useful, and this is very useful for the secondary that I use, the locomotive. So run and reload is pretty much essential. It's not this isn't really a pistol build because I don't get Equilibrium or Gunslinger, and then I just get Inspired Ace. Inspired Ace you should have on every build because, as I said previously, that your teammates are incompetent and you want to be able to get them up as soon as possible. So, yeah, that's that. So we'll go into the Enforcer tree, and I'll just you might notice I have 1 skill point left. I'll explain that at the end. For Enforcer, Transporter aced because throwing bags, because that's what the majority of this game is. Then you want Underdog aced because Underdog ace is actually a really important skill, especially if your client, because that activates more. It often helps you survive shots from Black Dozers on Death Wish, because it gives you enough effective health to tank 1 shot with most builds. But yeah, that's something else you can look up in your own time. Stun Resistance ace because flashbangs suck. Now Shotgun Impact ace because we're using the locomotive and we want that 35% extra damage. Then we sort of want 1 more point, so it's sort of like up to your decision here, but I usually go for Die Hard ace for that armor recovery, because we're wearing a suit and the faster our armor regens, the better it is. Shotgun CQB, just basic, because you don't use your steel sights for shotguns. It's sort of pointless. So now we just need 2 points to get to fully loaded. What you can do is you can get, I usually pick between either Oppressor, Pumping Iron, and Tough Guy. In this case, I'm just going to pick Tough Guy because Camera Shake is annoying, and Pumping Iron for melee attacks doing more damage against non-specials. You could get Oppressor But the weapon we're using for our melee, which is going to be the Taser, sort of makes that obsolete because the Taser is so good at suppressing enemies that you can usually dominate them really quickly. And since we have Dominator aced, we have more intimidation. So that's that. And then for finishing this tree off, fully loaded ace because we want that increased ammo pickup. With this, you can pretty much make the locomotive its own, like, it can sustain itself if you just use it by itself. And then overkill basic because 75% extra damage for 5 seconds on a shotgun kill. With the locomotive, it lets you kill enemies rather quickly. At least you can headshot once it's active in one shot. Occasionally you can get 10s one-shotting too. But yeah. Technician, nothing because Technician tree is so bad. And then Ghost, I won't bother with respecting this, but Sprinter aced because we're doing lots of sprinting. That's why we have run, reload, and sprinter, so you want all the running skills. Fast hands because, as I said, the game's bag simulator, so you can get fast hands. Shinobi, the walk speed isn't incredibly useful, but the crouch speed can be a little bit useful because I do the run, jump, crouch trick. I know that some people find that iffy, but you know, whatever. Cleaner, basic because 5% extra damage against specials. That's always a bonus. Cat Burglar, that's just a skill I picked at the end because usually I have 2 skill points at the end of this build, and I just chucked it there. For Fugitive, I run Steadiness. That's sort of related to the camera shake when you're getting hit by enemy fire. It helps with that. I ace it because getting up the tree, you have to pick one of these aced to get up the tree. You can't just go. Yeah, Thin Blade. That. So you need to pick one of them aced. So usually I like the basic of this one, so I just get it there. Now the last things you need in this tree are Duck and Cover aced because you have a 15% chance of dodging whilst crouching, which is very good. And then Run and Gun gives you the 10% movement speed because we're doing so much running. Now, what I did last time was I put my extra skill point into my 2 extra skill points into Cat Burglar and Combat Medic Basic because it gives you the increased damage bonus for 10 seconds after you inspire your teammates because, as I keep repeating, your teammates will probably be incompetent, and when you inspire them, yeah, hey, that's a free damage boost you get right there. So that's good. As always, I run the Grinder perk deck because Grinder's good. I mean, X-Presence is also good, Muscle is also good, but you know, I run a suit and I like suit. So let's have a look at my locomotive. I don't use any ammunition type because the ammunition completely screws up the pickup rate. I use the Shark Teeth nozzle because it increases the damage and decreases the accuracy and increases the stability. That's pretty much the 3 things you're aiming for: increased damage, decreased accuracy, and increased stability. So you don't want King's Crown because that does the opposite. This is the negative accuracy boost because the less accuracy you have, the bigger the spread of your 12 pellets will be, meaning you can hit more enemies, meaning you get more multi-kills, which means you get more ammo. The gadget is the LED combo because it gives the greatest amount of stability. The grip is this one because it gives stability and the other one gives accuracy. And that just does concealment. Extended magazine gives you 2 extra in the magazine, so why wouldn't you? Pick any sight you want because they all give 4 stability. And the police shorty stock gives the most stability out of all of them. You don't want negative. Oh, you don't want positive accuracy. Yeah. So, and then the upper receiver also gives another 2 to the magazine. So yeah, that's pretty much my build. For this, I just use explosive bolts because, yeah, why not? And I have the total ammo, so I get 3 extra ammo. And that's all good. And, whoops, there we go. That's sort of the thing. And, yeah, the buzzer. Pretty much the buzzer is good because it gives you the ability to easily dominate cops, and it gives you the ability to stop charging cloakers, and that's the biggest thing. So pretty much the build, like, it's a dodge build, but I don't go into fugitive because honestly you don't need sneaky bastard or low blow. Like, when you forget about this, you can just take any weapons you want, and like, honestly, 10% dodge is not gonna do too much of a difference to your play style once you know what you're doing. So having the enforcer tree is, in my opinion, better than having the fugitive tree. So having the buzzer allows you to pretty much omit this tree because it's pretty much a free counter-strike, because you can now, because counter-strike obviously lets you counter attack cloakers so you don't get downed. That's what the taser does, and pretty much every melee weapon in the game is pretty bad. So why wouldn't you take a melee weapon that pretty much is a free 12 skill points? And it's more than that, because you have to spend 27 to get up here, and then another 12 on top of that. So it's pretty much 39 skill points you're saving just by taking this one melee weapon. But I have spent, how much have I spent in here? 10. So I would have to spend another 29 points to get that, whilst my melee weapon can do the exact same thing. So yeah, that's why I take the buzzer. Molotov cocktails are probably the best explosives, the best throwable, at least for grinder, because it gives the area of denial, and it constantly procs the grinder health regen. So you can throw a Molotov into a group of enemies in an emergency situation, and you can regain all your health. And you can be a little more risky during that time because you can take risks that you normally wouldn't do and get away with it, because you know that you'll have a backlog of health regen. So yeah, I hope that explains my build and some of the technical things behind it. But yeah, depending on the situation, I might change this up. Like, if I'm playing solo, I don't take Inspire Aced because there's no one to inspire, and I won't take Combat Medic because there's no one to inspire. I might go and put that into that Technician tree and get drill skills instead. So, you know, that's just me. So hopefully you guys learned something from this. This was pretty much an improvised video. I'm trying up a new audio recording thingy as well. Recording my audio separately in Audition, whilst just recording the game sounds through Shadowplay, and hopefully that'll sync up properly. But you know, anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Do stuff, watch more of my videos or something like that. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.